Daring doesn't need a special Somepony, Part 3. I tell her everything. About pouring my heart and soul into my research, nearly dying in that first cursed ruin, and then carefully typing out the experience, weaving a brilliant analysis of the defense mechanisms into one single gloriously composed essay. About my literature professor, Dr. Cavalleron, raiding the temple I wrote about, and then garnering praise from a ripped-off version of my paper.
And then giving me a C- on the assignment.
About Tarzapan, who followed me faithfully with a notepad and pen, until an infected scratch left him blind. About Diamond Dust, who was all soft smiles and hard edges, with a raging desire for treasure burning underneath her coat. I sputtered to her about the long, painful process of learning to keep, to hold secrets and truths and everything real close to your heart, to hoard it all away from the world and shun others because they'll be consumed by the secrets, eaten by the lies. And so all you have is loneliness, and you drown it out with the glittering dangers of a simpler, harsher world, where you have to go, and you can't afford to focus on anything more than surviving long enough to get the item. And isn't it funny how I found time to notice all of this? This is my special talent. Finding. Dear Celestia, I must be tired if I'm talking about destiny.
My, what do we have here?
The melodic voice of the Soul Eterna interrupts my lamentation. I look up with puffy eyes and realize that we're less than 3 feet from the top of the stairwell, where Princess Celestia currently stands. She peers down at us curiously, and Fleetfoot recovers first.
Hey, Your Highness. Sorry for the commotion, sorry. We're just after a box of rainbow truffles. Oh, is that what this is about?
She smiles.
There's been quite a ruckus all over the country this evening. An unusual amount, even for a holiday like this. How strange,
I reply, settling into false nonchalance.
Indeed.
She agrees, then nods her regal head towards the double doors behind her.
If you would like to come with me, I imagine we can find a rainbow truffle or two. I do purchase a box every year.
Her Highness had good taste. I barely noticed the high-ceilinged chambers she led us through, nor the luxurious personal study, and I sure as hey don't care about whatever room we're in now. I'm done with observing the setting because the Princess of the Sun herself has given us her personal, royal guarantee of at least one rainbow truffle. It might be an old-fashioned notion, but nothing stands in the way of the princess's word. Except another princess. A dusky blue alicorn lounges on a large cushion, an empty box lying in the remnants of the silver wrapping paper at her side.
Tell me that's not...
She looks up at our entrance and rises to her hooves, eyes flashing.
Sister!
It's not exactly a voice loud enough to shatter your eardrums, but it's still pretty intense.
You are indeed correct. These delicacies do warrant the existence of this pitiful holiday.
Princess Celestia inclines her head.
Don't they, though? Absolutely exquisite. Forgive me, Luna, but could you awaken my physician? Fleetfoot here is in need of his attention.
Princess Luna, how long has she been in Equestria? Nods and then steps out onto the balcony, disappearing from view. Huh. We're in a sitting room, apparently. The Sun Princess levitates the empty box into the wastebasket with a sigh. I hear Fleetfoot collapse to the floor, groaning.
What a shame. I'm so sorry, girls, but my sister has been determined to despise Hearts and Hooves Day for quite some time. I can't say I begrudge her a few candies. No. However...
She continues, magicking open a cabinet and levitating 2 inky black boxes over to us.
There's no reason why you can't enjoy something from my private stash.
I open up the container, revealing small opalescent slabs of fudge nestled into the tin, pale white and glimmering with faint luster.
Is this Star Taffy?
I asked, amazed.
I thought this was just a legend. No pony ever has had any.
The princess chuckles.
No pony's ever had any in centuries. You spend too much time in your jungle staring dew.
She gestures towards the fudge.
Please, be my guest. I'd love to chat about your latest adventure.
She glances at the balcony.
But it is a bit late, and I distinctly recall seeing an advertisement for a Wonderbolt show in Manhattan tomorrow. Or would it be later today? Luna and I can never agree as to when the date rolls over. Roger that, Highness.
Fleetfoot says, popping up in a salute. I hesitantly take a bite of the taffy. Fudge stuff. And then everything is a rush, because an entire universe of flavors dances and whirls in the star taffy. Sweet but strong, unscented but fragrant. Delicate supernovas undulate through my mouth, nay, throughout my very soul, actually. The princess is smiling and the heavens are shining, and I'm pinning in the moonlight, turning my gaze upon the mare beside me, radiant in her tracksuited glory. She looks at me and snorts. Praise be to Celestial, what a sound. I summon up my courage, the stars are murmuring inspiration into my thoughts, words brimming with exaltations and revelations. Odes, sonnets, epics, ready to be released into being, just as soon as I profess my unending adoration. But the physician appears, taking my Stunflyer away and leaving me with nothing but the faint aroma of antiseptic, a sharp odor that clears away some of the glittering haze, enough for me to realize I didn't say goodbye.
Find the mirror.
Move, shout thanks to the alicorn, vault down the stairs, land onto the wall, skid, hit ground floor and roll, run, down the hallway, past the throne room, guard stallion, dodge, more guards, move, jump, flow with the battle tide, trip, no, move, no, thrash around, buck guards off, quickly, and move, blooming pain, shadows grow, come on, move. I wake up in a jail cell, a fully armored stalwart steadfast glaring through the bars. I hate gloating villains. I allow his tirade to wash over me, garnering from the bits and pieces that catch my attention that though the princess has pardoned my crimes against the nation, I'm not being released until high noon. I sleep. I can't remember the contents of my dreams, just the colors, a forest of greens and yellows and browns, the occasional flash of whites, and when I finally shuffle into the noonday sunlight, nursing my aching headache, Fleetfoot is gone, vanished along with the final scraps of Hearts and Hooves Day. I let it go.
It was the taffy. I don't need romance. Just awesome.
Right?
She didn't even say goodbye.
The present day.
Out of truffles? Again?
I prepare to lay waste to the entirety of the sad excuse of a civilization. Daring Do and the Destroyer of Worlds, coming soon to everywhere.
Hey.
A voice says from behind me, rough and raspy from years of high-altitude stunt flying. And I whirl around, and the first thing that hits me, it's her, and she's taking off her sunglasses, slotting them into her startlingly white mane, and wow. I'm staring into my own eyes. Only these have flecks of purple mixed in with a magenta compared to my undertones of reddish pink, but this face is so open, without the shades, so young and at ease and lovely. A familiar seafoam blue mare stands before me, tracksuit nowhere in sight, wearing only her navy and gold saddlebags. Her body's a bit leaner. Has she been pushing herself around harder? For the first time, I watch as her eyes sweep over me, and I barely restrain myself from flinching. I know I'm sporting a few more cuts and scrapes than last time we saw each other. Fleetfoot looks up at my face and frowns, then walks over and removes my hard hat.
Wow. You got old. Your mane's completely gray. The idiot's never seen me without those shades. You haven't read a Daring Do book, have you?
I swat her hoof away from where it was hovering over my mane, as though longing to touch it. Or in public. I may feel like a pansy, but that doesn't mean I have to look like one.
Nope. I can't really say that I have.
She replies.
I, did get the one that you sent me, though. It's been sitting on my nightstand. Oh. Cool.
Silence.
I've, been wondering, did your captain like the Star Taffy?
I venture.
The tabloids never mentioned a promotion, and you were right about them only reporting on the higher ranks.
Fleetfoot shakes her head.
Oh, I really wasn't trying to bribe Spitz. She really wouldn't have taken that well. I guess I was just trying to do something nice for her, like show her that I did care about Somepony other than myself. It kinda worked. I'm sure she would have loved to have replaced her military ID.
I snigger, and Fleetfoot frowns.
Oh yeah? But why was she...
Her face lights up and she claps her hoofs together.
Oh! Oh, I forgot about that!
Wait, what?
Did she not care? Oh no.
Fleetfoot smirks.
She cared alright, but remember how I sprayed that perfume over her desk?
I nod and she laughs.
That was my failsafe. That was somebody else's cologne, wasn't it?
She nods and grins widely.
I spent a whole month trying to figure out why Spitfire had Misty Fly scrubbing every inch of the academy, and I was the one who sprayed her perfume on the crime scene to begin with.
She forgot about her contingency plan? This matters too much. Silence. The sky outside burns in the twilight.
I looked for you at every show,
She blurts out, scuffing the floor with a hoof. I think of the all-access VIP season pass propped up behind my typewriter. I think of Fleetfoot eagerly sealing it upon its official Wonderbolt envelope and depositing it in its mailbox, then searching the crowd week after week, looking for the one tan and grayscale mare among thousands of pastel faces. I think of how it must have felt to come up empty every time. I grin and gesture to my white lab coat.
How do you know I wasn't there? I am a master of disguise after all.
She rolls her eyes.
Because you never used the pass I sent you, you moron. If you flash the thing at the gates, the entire team would know. It's basically on par with a royal visit. The staff would have had you in the lounge instantly. Oh.
The grin falls from my face.
I kept meaning to go, but, you know, there was always a deadline or a priceless historical artifact that needs saving, and I just kept putting it off. Hey, okay, look, it's totally cool.
She quipes, waving a hoof.
I can't even keep track of how many ponies have dumped me because of my schedule.
She backtracks, a faintly horrified look flashing across her face.
I mean, well, it's not that we were, dating or anything, or special Someponies. I did kind of get your truffles, but, as friends, right? You're too hardcore for other romance. And did I tell you that Playmare names me Stallionizer of the Year?
She reaches into her saddlebags and practically throws a box of rainbow truffles at me, sputtering about feelings and other lame stuff. I kiss her. I close my eyes and wrap my forelegs around her, trusting my special talent to find her lips for me and bring her home. Her warm body against mine is sweeter than any truffle, more enchanting than any taffy. She's an entire continent of unexplored wonders melting into my embrace and kissing me back like the fate of the world depends on it. AK Yearling doesn't write love stories. So as far as you're concerned, Owie Zodel suddenly and inexplicably crashes into the confectionery, and Fleetfoot duct tapes magical swords to her wings while I pelt him with exploding bonbons. And then we charge dramatically through ancient temples, chased by pie-wielding fire demons. And stuff. And maybe, just maybe, we wind up nestled in a fluffy cloud, watching the sun rise over the Wonderbolt Academy and delighting in the spiced sweetness of rainbow truffles. The coming daybreak might paint the horizon in hues of pink and gold, but all the pretty skies in the world are just pale imitations of the aurora in our eyes. It's gonna be an awesome year.